What?
Oh, there will be children.
Anyone over there want to ask a question? It says what?
These are just such lovely people, aren't they? Not truly. They are. Welcome back to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy JD. I hope you've all had a great day. In today's episode, we have to talk about Riley Gaines and a speech being held on campus at Penn State University, all to do with this new movement, this new rally, Real Women's Day, where we celebrate real women, I know, crazy, all their accomplishments and raise awareness on their safe spaces, their sports, to ultimately protect them. Because as we know, as we go further, we're seeing more and more men identifying as women and finding themselves in those different avenues. And there are many other things to do with that day, but as you saw at the beginning of this video, there are so many tolerant and accepting people. You know, they love the idea of women speaking up for real women. Nah, of course not. Now, there are a few things to this story that we're going to be discussing throughout this video, and firstly, we have to start off with Penn State University apparently trying to cancel Riley Gaines' speech at this event. The Independent Women's Forum post on X on #RealWomen's Penn State University tried to cancel at Riley Gaines' speech on campus, but we will not be silenced and the fight for women will go on. Despite the anti-free speech agenda at universities like Penn State, women won't be cancelled today or any day. And you know, that really doesn't surprise me one bit, and that probably wouldn't surprise people watching right now, because as we know, they don't want women like Riley Gaines, in fact any woman, speaking out against these issues, because everybody must follow the same world view, and if you speak out against these issues, well, that's simply the biggest crime on the planet and you will have your speech cancelled, among other things. However, Riley Gaines did in fact turn up to this event and give a speech. Well done to her, and we'll get into that in a bit, but we have to talk about some interesting, to say the least, woke activists causing some trouble and actually finding themselves being arrested. Outkick go on to report protesters taken into custody after vandalizing table at Riley Gaines' speech at Penn State. 2 people were detained by police Tuesday on campus of Penn State University after appearing to cause a disturbance during Outkick podcast host Riley Gaines' appearance at the school, according to videos circulating on social media. Videos posted to X, formerly Twitter, by the College Fix show 2 individuals approach a table on campus where Gaines was expected to attend for the Real Women's Day rally. One individual is seen knocking objects off the table. Oh wow, so tough, you know. I just don't know how I'm going to sleep at night after hearing that. You're probably feeling the same, right? It just fills me and you with probably so much fear. It really does. Anyway, here is some video footage of these activists vandalizing the table, and as you would expect, they all look and sound the same. Standing there, screaming, shouting, and for some odd reason, they're all still wearing masks.
What? Get the out of here.
Oh, there will be children.
Excuse me, sir. Don't touch your stuff.
Oh, you're not.
I'm not transphobic.
Huh?
Why should I be transphobic?
You are transphobic.
No.
What the sign you're holding right now, huh? Get this out.
Whoa.
Yo,
That's on camera, right?
calm down.
Yep.
Calm down.
What?
Where's the police? You're in here trying to calm down.
Police
Don't have
down
better
here,
ideas, behave.
No one's f***ing attacking you. Don't touch me like that.
Are we being detained? Are we being
Can you
detained?
let go of me?
Are we being
Can
arrested?
you
Are we
let go
being
of me?
detained?
Don't touch me.
Are we being Are we being detained?
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
Am I being arrested?
You're being detained right now. Move from the scene.
Move from this. All right, I'm moving. I'm moving.
Now you have to remember, this is all because real women are standing up for women and talking about the issues that they are experiencing, which they do experience. You know, it's not just a myth, as many people say, oh, that's not happening. They're all just lying. No, we all see it now. It is going on. And this is why they're acting like this, because women are standing up for women. So you see all these liberals, progressives all the time on social media talking about, we care about women's rights so much, women deserve to feel safe, and then they act like this. So clearly they care about it as much as they say they do, right? Obviously not, but as Outkick reported, they were taken into custody, and here is video footage of these people finding out that if you do in fact F around, you will find out. Take a watch.
What changed your mind?
We got names and badge numbers?
This is Baker.
Officer Baker?
Put one in the car. One per car.
You got any other names here?
Hey, Jess. Skip. There's a...
We got a Jess.
I'm sure this is going to be a moment they remember for the rest of their lives, because I don't know how exciting it gets for them. But the president of Penn State actually released a video about a month ago that is around 3 minutes long, where they go on to say public institutions are legally obligated to allow quote-unquote bigots to speak on their campuses. Riley Gaines says on X, "No way the president of Penn State makes a whole video explaining why public institutions are legally obligated to let quote-unquote bigots apparently like me on campus to speak, then proceeds to cancel my speech tomorrow for Real Women's Day. Have it your way, see you tomorrow with a soapbox and megaphone, Penn State." I can't believe it was 3 minutes long, if I'm going to be honest with you. I guess, dedication to whatever cause these people are in. But here is a short clip of that video.
I have no doubt that we will once again encounter speakers that many will consider controversial, either because their views are not widely held or because a speaker espouses ideas that are actively hateful. I share the concern of those who believe the messages spread by some individuals are not only offensive but deeply hurtful. And again, I stand in unity with those who condemn such speakers and their rhetoric. You may ask, if so many individuals, including the president of the university, find these speakers so objectionable, why can't we just ban them from our campuses? First, as a public university, Penn State University is bound by the First Amendment. What does this mean? The First Amendment is the law in our country that protects citizens from government censorship or punishment for speech or ideas that the government does not approve. Without the First Amendment, your access to information would be threatened. Your voice could be censored or silenced, and your internet use could be filtered. The second reason we permit these speakers to come to our campuses is a moral one. For centuries, higher education has fought against censorship, believing that the best way to combat bad ideas is with better ideas, bad speech with more speech. We all wish to be on a campus where we are free to express our own beliefs and perspectives. But restricting the speech of one group or individual jeopardizes everyone's rights, because the same laws or regulations used to silence bigots can be used to silence you.
I mean, it's hypocrisy at its finest, right? And what she's saying there, she clearly doesn't mean, because they've made a 3-minute video talking about, oh, we stand for freedom of speech for XYZ. Then they go ahead and try to cancel Riley Gaines' speech. It's quite funny when you think about it, but she is right about one thing. The censorship of people speaking out against certain issues, i.e. of conservatives and right-wing people. When we speak out against these issues, we know there is huge censorship around these issues. They will use, they will use the same techniques that they're using in the future on the people who are calling for all the silencing. For some reason, they still haven't woken up to that issue, or they just don't actually care. But here is Riley Gaines nonetheless delivering a speech on Penn State campus, and you're going to see more of the same people screaming, shouting. It's clear, they let their emotions of anger and frustration dictate how they act, and they just continually try to interrupt her. Take a watch.
Do you believe that the president's statement that was released a month ago was actually pro-free speech as she claims it was?
If you listen to the statement that she made, again, it's as if she's explaining a nap to a kindergartner, and then goes on to explain why, unfortunately, it's necessary, why we have to let bigots on this campus, why that's protected. And her reason was because if we don't, they could hurt you guys. They could hurt your freedom of speech, and that's who we're trying to protect. Those people who don't agree with me, yet can't dissuade from my argument any other way, can't even ask a question, because they know the only thing on their side, it's emotionally driven, it's feelings over facts. Again, there's no science, logic, or reason as to what their side is advocating for. Anyone over there want to ask a question? It says a lot.
You can't engage with those people.
How are we ever supposed to be a functioning, thriving society when we can't even have a conversation with one another? That should be really chilling, because what they're asking us to do today, and what they've been asking us to do, is say say 2 + 2 is 5. And has anyone read 1984? These people probably advocate for that, but it's Marxism.
That's right.
We're denying objective truth, which is the premise of why I feel so passionately about defending it. Of course, I feel passionately about women's sports and defending women's sports, but it is so much broader than that. It's about denying truth. And look at any other society, when that starts to happen, and it's a slippery slope.
I mean, the one thing you could take from that, right, apart from Riley Gaines' speech, and I don't think I'm alone when I say this, but these people are so clearly open to the idea of debating as to why they disagree on certain issues, even though one side has the opinions, a lot of the time based on delusion and not fact. But they're so open to the idea, right? Of course not. They only really know about 2 sentences, and the rest of the stuff is just loud sounds being projected. And what blows my mind is when liberals and progressives who don't go to these events and don't do what these people are doing, but they see it on social media and they sit there and go, oh, well done guys, this is such great activism, well done you, let's continue to do what we're doing. What a strange frame to operate in. I'll never understand it. And another thing along with that I don't understand is how people get so emotional, angry, and triggered by somebody's presence, this woman's presence, and the opinions they have. You know, we saw it the other day with Candace Owens when she was delivering a speech at an event, and the woke activists, the woke liberals were just so upset. To reach this level of emotion, regardless of it's Riley Gaines, Candace Owens, or whoever else, shows me that these people are just not mentally stable. Now, of course, they have the right to disagree. Everybody does. But when they always act the same way, kicking, screaming, shouting, and vandalizing things, which kind of leads me to believe these people aren't real, they're just bots, because it's always the same, shows me that they cannot control their emotions. And to them, I don't know, this is like one of the most traumatic experiences they will go through. This is what we classify as trauma now. A woman who has an opinion that they disagree with. This is why people now get triggered. Oh, I just couldn't believe Riley Gaines was in my presence. I just couldn't handle it. Well, why do you feel like that? Because she wants to stop men from going into women's sports and their safe spaces. I just can't handle it. I really can't. She wants to stand up for women's rights. Right, that makes a lot of sense. I can see why you're going through these issues. But that is the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your thoughts down below on this issue. I'm going to be very interested to see how you guys feel about it all. If you have enjoyed it as well, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never ever miss a video. Share this video. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace. I just don't really know how much more soft society can get. Like, when you sit here and think about it, this is what people are getting offended over. Think about 50, 60 years ago and what people actually went through. This is what people are now saying are traumatic experiences. Blows my mind. Really does blow my mind.